Hi folks, welcome back. Sorry I haven't been putting out the usual amount of videos, but not feeling too good. But I figure I could show you what I'm doing today. I usually have about 1 to 2 hours of work in me per day. I don't know if it's the medicine or what, but I got busy today and let y'all look. I'm back onto a project that is totally Don's fault. Working on the Bridgeport over here. And for about the last 3-4 months, I've been thinking over the oiling system. Now, it came with a one-shot oiler on it, but the things sit there and suspended particles in the oil kind of fall out of the suspension every once in a while, and pretty soon you got clogged oil lines everywhere. And frankly, this, I don't know if I can make it steady enough, is a tiny hole in there. I haven't run a pin gauge through it, but man, it doesn't look like 20 thousandths. Anyway, this stuff's about $1.55 a foot. And if you put H&W, would you guys stop this? I'm throwing things everywhere. I got a whole spaghetti much of it. And I've also knocked over my parts that I've been working on. Excuse me. I'm back. Got lots of parts for the visual roller. There's a new gasket. The flexible holes that I had on it, it is so stiff that I'm afraid it'll mess up something. So I got a new kit for the new hose. And they make it pretty easy at H&W to get and find what you need. I thought I was going to save some money. I'd swing you around here and let you look what I've been doing. I got the oil tank all tore apart. And I was going to save about $55 on this till I looked down here and it's all cracked in here. So I got a new one of those coming. This is the oiling block with all the metering nozzles on it. I took this off and I left it like this, thinking I was just going to blow it out and use it, but then I don't like to use that little bit of that little hole orifice. You can use copper if you want to, but I figured this has been on there for so long, it worked well, so I just go back with it. And I'm going to take these off one at a time, change out the meter, and then we'll go up and cut a piece of tubing the same length so I know where it goes. Oh, we've got something new in the mail today. For as you've been around, I've been talking about my favorite cutter for the Beast. Here's the ones I've been using. This one I had a twin of, and they came with a box of parts for this thing, and these things work really good. And they kind of give a little spring to it as it goes across. And the other one I had was a round nose. So I've been talking to a blacksmith friend I know, and he told me that you couldn't take and make them out of 2-bit steel, because you had to have so many special things, and you probably did. And the way I figure it, they took this piece, got it all hot, and bent that curve in it, then over here. Well, I can make a little jig to make that go around, but I ended up getting some A2 tool stock, and it says that it is forgeable. So when I get some time, I'm going to take and see if I can just cut this out of here. Wouldn't that be cool? I don't know. Maybe can, maybe can't. I don't know if this thing would... Well, I know for sure to benefit from forging this. I'm beating with a hammer, so I don't know how just a cut one would hold up. But we'll play with that later. Dawn came over for Christmas, brought me a Christmas present. Ta-da! Gonna put that on my RV. That way I have all the stuff I need to fix it. Well, let me show you something first before we get off to the machine. Now, trying to make this as easy as possible. I took this part off and it's all painted up and it's probably okay, but I just, that orifice is so small that this is $1.65 a foot. So we can go for that. And what I've been doing is I take one off, I've been making a replacement for it. Now, if you looked at this machine, all the brass on it was just tarnished all get out. In fact, that's what it looked like after I brushed it pretty good. So I think the new brass is going to be spiffy on it. So I took a little of the clear spray that you can buy. I don't remember the name of it. It's over there. And I sprayed them so that hopefully it'll keep the corrosion and the green stuff away from them. Make it look nice. Now, some people were asking me where I found all these parts and everything. Well, there's one company that I buy stuff for Bridgeports from all the time, and it's H&W. And I don't know how well y'all can see that. They've got a kit you can replace everything on it, including the tank with a new pump. My pump was good. I just wished I had a new handle for it. This is part of it. I went and brushed it off and put some clear on it so it'll look nice. This is the top of the tank. And my plastic top was broken on the other one. So we got to get all this. Took it all apart. And this will all go in here with the pump handle coming out. And then this goes in here. So as I get a part made and ready to go, I put it on there and away we are. This one will come out of here. It's pretty simple. It's just a standard ferrules that you've been unused in plumbing for a long, long time. And this pushes it up tight. This is the female version of that. I probably didn't need to do this, but I did. Now, I've got a feeling that just about anybody in the world could rebuild one of these. Especially if you go to H&W. This is the lubrication breakout, and you can buy all these parts, and that's similar to what mine looks like. But there's the metering block, flexible hose comes down. This is mounted on my tank, and the tank's a little bit higher, the newer models. Then, in that block, you can see which orifice size needs to go in here. 3, 16, and then you got 5, 5, 5, 5, 14, 14, 14, 5. So we're going to make it look nice. What else have I been doing? remember if I've told you any of the other things. Let's go over here. Oh, where are you watching? Now, this is a piece of hose that comes in from the other side and lubricates this part of the knee. I took that 90-degree block off of it, got it all ready. See, this is what all the stuff looked like. Painted up, and look how hard this thing is to bend. It's going to break. So we got a whole new one of these. They're expensive. I guess that's because they don't sell a lot of them. Here, you know what I'm going to try to do is I'll try to walk over here, let you see stuff. In this box is a drawbar, powered drawbar that's going to go on top. And I've been kind of sorting all my parts out. Looks like my handle replating failed. I hadn't sprayed them with anything, and then I got sick and took off. Got to pull these assemblies apart, paint them. Got a whole new brake assembly for in here. This is what goes, these little spread outs go over here, and you got a set of brake shoes for it. And so all that's going to be new. But the new Spindle dogs, I guess they call them. These are new ones. They fit in there. A lot of people wear them out quickly by, what do they do with them, I think they don't wait for the spindle to quit stopping, and then they put too big of a mill bit on them. Here's one. You can see how a few of these teeth look wore down. Well, here's the other side of it. See, there used to be a full set of teeth. Now some of them are 2/3, 1/3 gone. Anyway, slow your mill down. Don't take huge, heavy cuts with it, and stop it before you change. All right. Get a little bit closer. Getting ready to put this all together. Got to paint the black part for it. This is all done. Here's the other side of that knee hose. And this goes onto the top of the 4-way block here. And then I'll have a hose coming from here over to it. And that's the main part of it. You know, unlike a lot of the tools I rebuild, Bridgeports are easy. They don't suffer from out-of-date parts. You can buy every part on this Bridgeport. Now this one was a nice one. It had chrome ways and a 49-inch table. And it's worth me keeping. I like this one. So I'm going through the whole thing. It came with an X feed gearbox, and I bought a Y feed to go on it. I even bought a 4-axis DRO for it. Only machine I've ever had that'll have a DRO. Still do it the old-fashioned way. Well, I think that's all I've got to show you right now. Been working on some other things. Tomorrow morning I'm going to go back to the hospital for an operation. I have a huge umbilical hernia now. I had a little one for years, but I think I was flopping around and withering in pain so much in the hospitals that they tied me down to the bed. It was so bad. And I must have aggravated it. So it's a simple operation. They cut you like this, and then they slide a piece of mesh back there. And the doctor said he's going to poke all the fat back in there and get it all right. I said, I don't want you to poke it all in there. You can take it out. And I said, but if you got to keep it, could you be a little artistic and make me a set of 6-pack down here for the abdomen? We'll see. Hope y'all had a good year, New Year's and Christmas. Thanks for watching. Don came over. The next video I'm going to make is Don and me tearing down the head of this Bridgeport. So watch for that. Thanks for watching.